everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well today. So today's video, I haven't done something like this, I don't believe, before on my channel, and I'm excited to do it because I'm going to be doing a Sephora VIB sale product roundup. So essentially what this video is I'm going to be sharing with you the products that I picked up during the most recent spring Sephora VIB sale, and I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts. I'm really excited about this. I overall am very, very happy with the products that I picked up, and so we can go ahead and get into it. I will have everything linked down below in case you are interested. Some of the links may be affiliated, which means I do receive a small commission if you choose to shop through the links. I thank you so much if you do that, as it does support me and my channel. So before we get into it though, please like this video if you enjoyed it, or if you like this type of content from me. Please subscribe if you are constantly watching my videos but you are not subscribed. Why? I would love to have you as part of my YouTube channel family here. So please subscribe. It really does help out my channel, and it helps to just kind of like push my channel out there, push my videos out there more, which is always a good thing. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm really excited to share with you these amazing products. Okay, so I think in one of my last Get Ready With Me's, I talked about how I didn't really have a huge Sephora haul. At the time, I had only picked up the Natasha Denona Bloom palette and the Rare Beauty cream blush. Well, I did go back to Sephora and I did pick up a few things, but I still feel like for the most part, this is a pretty curated haul in my opinion. So I am really excited to share with you these products because I am really, really happy with pretty much everything that I picked up. So firstly, as I mentioned, I did pick up the Natasha Denona Bloom palette. I was so excited to purchase this one. I pretty much knew from the very beginning that I wanted to purchase this one because I really love corally tones. They don't always look the best on my complexion, but I really, really enjoy these colors. I think that it screams spring and summer to me, and I am very, very happy with the performance of this palette. My favorite shade in the palette has to be Equinox, which is the most beautiful, stunning shimmer shade. And I have gravitated towards this one very regularly. I feel like I have a look that I've created that I've just really, really enjoyed using or creating within this palette. And oftentimes whenever I want to do my makeup and let's say I'm wearing like a yellow shirt or something very like spring and summery, I often pull for this palette and recreate that look over and over again because I've just really, really enjoyed that look a lot. So I am really happy with this one. I think it's a beautiful color story. It is that really great Natasha Denona formula that we know and love. And it's just stunning, honestly. Very happy with this one, and yet another really great palette release from Natasha Denona. Also in that Get Ready With Me, I mentioned I picked up one of the new Rare Beauty cream blushes. These are the matte bouncy blushes, and I picked up the shade Hope. I love this formula so much. As you can see here, I've used this quite a bit. This is just such a great formula. I love that this is a cream, but it does go onto the skin like a powder. So if you're someone who has oily skin, or maybe you're kind of dipping your toes into cream or liquid formulas, I think this is a really, really nice formula to start out with because of the fact that it is very blurring on the skin and it goes on almost like a powder. So I think that this is great for those people because again, it's not super difficult to use, and because it's not super glowy, I do think that it's going to work well for people with oily skin. Also, her shades are just beautiful. The shade Hope is my favorite shade in pretty much all of her formulas. I have Hope in the like powder, like luminous blushes. I have Hope in the liquid blush, and then of course I have it here in this creamy formula. I love this. I also do feel like this is super pigmented, but it's still buildable. So it's pigmented because I can build it up and it can look like I have a lot of blush on, but I can also just go in with a few layers and it's not super pigmented either. So unlike her really, really pigmented liquid blushes, you can still get away with putting a little bit of this on, or a lot of this on honestly, and it still looks really good. Not so much with like her liquid blushes, for instance. So I really like this one a lot. I've been using it a lot. I've loved layering this blush with a more like glowier topper type of thing. And I've loved it. This also lasts really, really well on the skin throughout the day. Okay. I also realized that during this haul, I did pick up a lot of blushes, which is totally on brand for me, I feel like, but here we are. So I knew for sure after watching some hauls, and also just because whenever it first released, I also felt like I wanted this palette, and that is from NARS. I did pick up this palette here. This is called the Hot Escape Cheek Palette 2. This is the second one. So there are 4 shades. I want to say at Sephora there are only 3 versions of this face palette, but at Ulta I think there is a 4th shade. I did pick up the second one. I really love this yellow and white striped packaging. I think it's so cute. I'm honestly tempted to pick up the blue one, which is the lightest version. But I am so in love with this face palette, you guys. It comes with a bronzer, a blush topper, and a highlighter. And I think that this is the most perfect summer face palette if you are within this skin tone range, okay? I love the bronzer. I feel like it's the depth that I am comfortable with. Now, it is very pigmented, so I do feel like maybe in the fall and winter time, this might potentially be too much for me. But right now, as I'm gonna be in the sun more, I'm probably gonna be doing some self-tanning. I can see this bronzer being perfect. However, the blush is the most beautiful, just summer, like berry pink type of shade. I love it so much. And then the highlighter is so stunning. This is such a great formula of powders from NARS. This has been getting such great reviews by pretty much everyone that I watch that has purchased this palette. They've really been enjoying this one, and I have to agree, this is just such a great formula from NARS. I think everything within this palette performs really, really well. In case you don't remember, I purchased the holiday face palette from NARS last year and was so unimpressed with that formula. I felt like it was so hard pressed that it didn't really show up very pigmented on the face. That is not the case with this. This is very pigmented, but I still just love it so much. Even the blush topper, while I don't use this one as often as all of the other things in this palette, it's still super beautiful. So I am really happy with this one. Again, this is the second one, which is the yellow and white striped packaging. I'm kind of tempted to pick up the blue one, so we shall see, but this is so good. I'm so happy with it. Something else that I picked up pretty early on within the sale, just because I really wanted to try another color within this formula, is the Huda Beauty. I think these are called the blush filters, and this is in the shade Peach Sorbet. So I was really interested in trying some of this formula. I do have this blush in the shade Latte. That was actually my first experience trying out this blush, and I was pretty impressed with it. I don't know if it's like my favorite blush formula of all time. However, I do really enjoy this formula. And the shade Peach Sorbet is really beautiful. I was really wanting something peachy for the spring and summertime. I feel like I don't have a ton of peaches within my collection, so I was totally open to picking up this shade. Here is what that one looks like. It is so pretty, and this one is really nice and pigmented as well, but it's not too pigmented where you can't work with it or you can't blend it out on the skin. That is not the case. This one is pigmented as in it's buildable, but you can still go in with a light layer if you are, not comfortable with wearing a ton of blush. This is a really nice formula. It does blend in really nicely. It builds up nicely. And this is also a product that I can see after I put on powder. So what I do is I put on my foundation, concealer, and then my cream products. And so this goes on before I put on my powder for the day. And I'm still able to see this liquid blush peeking through, which is really great because that's kind of what dictates, in my opinion, a good cream and liquid blush formula. And this passes that test. Now, because I'm a crazy blush lover, I definitely go in with another layer of blush after this, but at least it's nice to know that you can still see this peeking through even after you've powdered. So this is a good formula. I do think that it's really great. It's a great liquid blush formula that you can find at Sephora. I also feel like this is one of the cheaper liquid blush options within Sephora because I want to say these are even cheaper than the Rare Beauty liquid blushes, which is insane. I want to say these are only like $23 or $25, which isn't bad considering how much more expensive you could buy at Sephora, if that makes sense. So really happy with this liquid blush formula. I think it's a good one. She has some really, really beautiful shades. I do love the shade Latte that I picked up. So far, like, so good with that one. And then I did pick up a few things from Tower 28, or a couple of things. I, for some reason, was just really curious about this product, which is kind of unlike me. I feel like I'm not a pressed powder person by any means. I'm definitely a loose powder person. And I wanted to pick up the Tower 28 Get Ready, Get Set Blur Powder. And this is in the shade Palisades Pink. I really love this super cute purple packaging. And then I did pick up the pink shade. So they had a few shades, nothing that was like, well, they might have had a translucent actually, but nothing that's like super skin toned. They only have, I think, like 4 or 5 shades within the range. So I did go with the pink one because I felt like it would make the most sense for my complexion. And I do really like this powder. I think it's good. I think I'm gonna get some good use out of it. The only thing is, I do think that this is not heavy duty enough for me during the summer months, because I do tend to get a little bit more oily throughout these months because it's obviously hotter outside. And so this is more of a powder I think I'm going to use to either just set underneath my eyes, or I will get some more use out of this during the fall and winter where my face is not that oily, and I could probably get away with using this all over the face. But so far, so good with this one. I do feel like this does set the skin. So for instance, I've used the Kosas powder, the Cloud Set powder, and my issue with that one was, while it was such a beautiful formula, it definitely did feel nice and lightweight. I did not feel like my face was set after I went in with that powder. I felt like my face still felt sticky, like it didn't feel like I set my skin at all. That is not the case with this one. I do feel like this sets the skin. My only issue is I don't think it sets to the level that I would want when it comes to the summer months where it's hotter outside. Do you know what I mean? And I want my makeup to last, obviously. And I just feel like I'm not really gonna get that longevity with this one, but it's still really nice. It is blurring on the skin as well, which is really good. So really like this one. I just feel like I might get some more use out of it during the fall and winter months. Also from Tower 28, I was not going to purchase these at all. I was not interested in this release, and I kept seeing people pick up a shade or two from the line, so I decided to go for it. And this is their Get Set Blur and Set Matte Powder Blush, and I picked up the shade Culver Crush. Now, I, again, felt like I didn't have a ton of peaches within my collection, so I wanted to give this one a go, and this is a really, really nice blush formula. It is a standard matte powder blush. This is the shade Culver Crush, swatched out here. And this is a standard matte powder blush. So if you're someone who doesn't love a lot of glow on the cheeks, but you want good pigmentation when it comes to your blush, I feel like this is a really nice, just standard matte powder blush. It is going to blur the skin, because I think Tower 28 designed this to be kind of like their blurring powder mixed in with a blush. And so I do feel like this is really nice and blurring on the skin. The shades that they came out with are also super stunning. So I am happy with this one, but it is a pretty standard matte powder blush, okay? I don't know if there's anything special in particular with this formula. I don't think that it's something that you need to run out and get by any means. However, if you have a shade within the line that you really are excited about, feel free to grab it. Tower 28 tends to be a little bit more affordable when it comes to their prices, considering, you know, other brands at Sephora. So I'm happy with this one. I really like the shade, so I'm okay with having this in my collection. But it's not a revolutionary formula, but I will say it is really nice and blurring on the skin, which is nice. I think because of that formulation, it does make me feel like it's really good for spring and summer, because it's going to give you a beautiful wash of color on the cheeks, but it's also going to set as well, but also kind of blur that area, which is always nice. Okay, just a few more products. I did pick this up, which I said in my like all the makeup I will not be buying video, I said I would not pick this up, but I did the mistake of swatching these in person, and I could not turn away and not purchase this. So this is from Fenty, and these are called the Gloss Bomb Sticks, the High Shimmer Gloss Stick. So I said that I was not going to pick these up because it felt like it was a cash grab because they looked so similar to the original gloss bombs. And in a way, like that's kind of true, but also these are so stunning, like so stunning, you guys. Like I cannot get over how glittery these look on the lips, but they also don't have any of that grittiness of having glitter in the formula. It is so good. So I picked up the shade Fussy because this one just looked the most stunning. So here's what it looks like in the component. I'm sure you guys have seen this a million times. And then here it is swatched out. And you can see, hopefully, just how glittery this formula is, but there's no grittiness in the formula. Like, this is a product that if you put this on your lips, you are going to see the glitter. But it doesn't feel like glitter, which is just so amazing. I don't know how Rihanna did it, but this is just so glittery and shiny and shimmery on the lips, but you don't feel it. It's so stunning. So I've been really impressed with this. I do think it's super beautiful. I honestly, if you like shimmer in your lip products, I honestly feel like you should just go for this one instead of getting like the first release, which are the shiny ones without the glitter. Just go for the glitter. If you're okay with some like glitter in your lip product, you might as well just go for this formula. The shades I think are pretty much similar to the initial ones, just like the Gloss Bomb sticks. So they have like Fenty Glow, they have Fussy, Hot Chocolate, I think. So some of her staple colors are within the line. So if you already know that you're a huge fan of Fenty Glow or you're a huge fan of Fussy, you'll probably still like the shade, just as you expected. But this was the one, whenever I swatched this in store, I was like, okay, wait, it's like, I need this. It swatched so beautifully and I literally could not stop thinking about it. So the next time I went into Sephora, I picked it up because again, it was just so beautiful and I could not stop thinking about it. Okay, then just down to two more products. First off, the thing that I was just most excited about, this is probably my favorite purchase, honestly, from the sale. I mean, you hear how great I feel or how much I love these products that I've been talking about, but this is probably, or these are probably my favorites that I picked up, and it's from Say. These are the Super Suede Radiant Blush Powders, and the first shade, because I have two here, the first shade that I picked up was the shade Chow. This is so beautiful. This is the ultimate bronzer color. If you are a huge fan of bronzers, like you like a blush to kind of serve both purposes, you will love the shade Chow. Don't mind the ice cream truck. This is the most beautiful kind of like burnt peach type of color. It's so stunning. And this formula is so good. It's so beautiful. This is a baked formula, so it's going to look really nice and just kind of like luminous and glowy on the skin. But I don't feel that these emphasize that much texture. Maybe if you were to go in with like a lot of product at like where you have the most texture, maybe. But for the most part, my experience has been that these do not emphasize texture, but I do always try to focus with like the most blush black, the most products back here, and then I go into the front with like the remainder, so that could be why. But I am just so in love with this formula, but I'm also in love with the shade Chow. It is beautiful. However, if you're looking for a dupe, go for Naked Brown by Wet n Wild. They're basically the same. The color is the same. Of course, I prefer the Say formula because I do tend to prefer a glowy blush. And I love a baked formula, but if you're just looking for the color, Wet n Wild's Naked Brown all the way. It's basically the same, but I am so impressed with this. The only thing I will say is the packaging kind of sucks, not gonna lie. It's literally just like plastic. It's nothing revolutionary. It's honestly kind of sad because I think these are like $28 blushes, so that's a little annoying. Because I loved that blush so much and I loved Chow so much, I was like, let's take a look at some other colors. So the next time I went in store, I took a look at the display again, and I decided on the shade Mia. And I am so glad I picked this one up, and I'll tell you why. Obviously, I love the formula. We've already gone over that. But a long time ago, I had BoxyCharm. And there was a blush from Ciate London. Here's it swatched right here. This is the shade Mia. I had a blush from Ciate London in the shade Date Night, and I thought it was the most beautiful blush. And I had it for the longest time. It was in my stash for the longest time, and it was a mini, and unfortunately it broke, okay? But also I decided to get rid of it. Like, I had even decided to keep it even after it broke, but I decided to get rid of it because it was just like getting old, and I just felt like I couldn't really like mention it because it wasn't like super accessible. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one of those things where I'm like, I'm okay with parting from this blush. This reminds me of that a little bit. And now I feel like Ciate London, I don't even know if they're available anymore, like if they have a brand anymore. But this shade, Mia, reminds me so much of Date Night, which is that blush that I had. And it's a baked formula. It's super similar, I feel like, in formulation to those Ciate London blushes. So I am really happy with these blushes from Saie. I think that they are so high performing. The only thing is the packaging. So just keep in mind that if you purchase these, you're probably going to be disappointed in the packaging because they are super, super like flimsy, cheapy kind of feeling, but what's inside is what matters, and they are so beautiful. Okay, the final products that I picked up was more of like a need. I needed a sweat resistant, water resistant sunscreen, and I was actually going to be going, I think, to the beach or something that weekend. And so I was like, you know what, I do need something, because I use the Hero sunscreen, and I also do use a lot of like K-Beauty sunscreens, and a lot of them are not water and sweat resistant. I live in Texas where it's super hot and I sweat a lot because of that, and so I need something that's sweat resistant and water resistant. So I picked up the Supergoop Play sunscreen. This is SPF 50, and this one says that it's water and sweat resistant for 80 minutes. I love this. I think this is great. I've used this and I haven't gotten sunburned, so I do feel like this is a really high performing sunscreen. It blends into the skin beautifully. It also wears really well underneath makeup. It is a really nice thin texture. This is pretty glowy though, so if you have oily skin, keep in mind this might be too glowy for you. But if you're someone who's just wanting a water resistant facial sunscreen and you're just using this just to be at the pool or something, like, just grab it. It is so good. And this one, I feel like it expires in 2 years, so I have plenty of time to use this up. And this has basically been what I've been using anytime I go to the pool or when we're going to the beach, things like that. This is the one that I'm using. Or if I know that I'm gonna be outside a lot, I'm gonna be sweating, this is what I'm pulling for. So this is really good. I'm happy that I got it, and I feel like 2.4 fluid ounces is quite a bit of product. So yeah, I really like it. I love the formula. So that is everything that I did pick up. I do want to do a shameless plug for the last video that I posted, which is my skincare routine. That video did not do very well, so I'm sorry if it's not something that you were really interested in, but I was really excited to do that video. So if you could please check out that skincare video that I posted and give it some love, that would really mean a lot to me, because I was kind of insecure posting that video, but I wanted to do it because I've been requested that video before. So I finally decided to do it, and if you can please show it some love, that would mean so much to me. But anyways, those were all of the products that I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. I am so pleased with absolutely everything that I picked up. Like, absolutely everything. I love the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, the Rare Beauty Cream blush I've used a ton, the NARS face palette I've loved. This is probably my least favorite product that I picked up, and that's because I don't even dislike it. Like, I like this. It's just kind of like a liquid blush. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a liquid blush. This would probably be like the next least favorite, but again, I like it. Like, I don't regret getting this by any means. It's still a good performing product. My favorites are definitely the Natasha Denona Bloom palette and these Saie powder blushes. They're so good. So let me know, how was your haul from the Sephora VIB sale? Are you happy with everything that you picked up? Please let a girl know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe and be a part of my YouTube channel family here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.